So this is Heap of Blocks base. It's tagged like it should be an overview or map thing. I didn't think we actually had. Oh, we do. There was an overview or map made at some point, and unfortunately, I didn't get my description in on it in time. So there's nothing actually labeling Zombieland Studios on that particular map. I like this how it's a spiral. I think I've been over here, but not since it was kind of. I think before it used to just be the iron pit in the ground, and now it's had the whole landscaping done to it. So I like that. Looks pretty good. The lighting needs a little bit of work because there's a lot of. I see a lot of spots where something could spawn in here. But all things considered, I like nice big. I guess the thing I really like about this is that the walls are. You can kind of see it in the overview map on the top right there. These walls are actually bowed outwards, and that is a really difficult thing to pull off in a way that looks neat. And it looks good in-game, and it looks good on the overview as well. Well, fine. I will jump off this way. This used to look so good. Mojang! Alright. I'm probably gonna have to come back along here and put in some dark concrete or something. I really don't exactly know what to say, folks. I mean, I'm kind of feeling a little under the weather today. I mean, I just kind of woke up and my eyes are just really killing me today. I don't know what it is. It's just like I had these weird dreams and whispering things and all sorts of bizarre stuff. And yeah, I just didn't really sleep much at all last night. I need to stop by Spawn though. That's why I'm on here today, because I need to pick who is doing Secret Satan, and did I just imagine that I saw parrots there? I'm not going crazy, right? I mean, there were definitely parrots when I flew by, and now there's not. Something's wrong. I don't know what it is, but I don't feel myself. Not at all. Not at all. The blocks, they call me. They demand that I build with them, that I join with them and make havoc and let slip the blocks of war! Okay, guys, that may be a little bit over the top, but, yeah, I am here on a little bit of a mission because my secret Satan is Heap of Blocks. And, well, according to this lovely little sign here, this is indeed the base for Heap of Blocks. So, I have come over here with a little bit of preparations. I have been downstairs in my base for a little bit of a while, and been working on getting some blocks that I'm going to be needing for the occasion here. So the great thing about Heap's base is it is a really lovely place to prank. I can do something without going a little over the top, but at the same time still going over the top. So, let's take a look at what we've got here, because I have brought over quite a bit of stock, and I have even more left at my base that I can, and the store that I can bring over, because I am unleashing everything. And I've also been really misleading about what is actually going on here. One of the things that I've been, I kind of alluded to in the chat channels is that, well, actually, let me pull it up here, because it's a lovely little quote, and I want to share it with you guys. Just because it's so good. But yeah, Heap is usually on earlier in the afternoon, so I think I'm good. Very early morning, too. So, the quote I had, I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. I don't have diamonds. But what I do have
are a very particular set of blocks. Blocks I have acquired over a very long harvesting. Blocks that make me a nightmare for people like you.
I can't do the voice act very perfectly enough, but I hope that was kind of close enough to give you an idea. So I think I've probably planted the idea in a lot of people, especially the long harvesting line. I'm hoping people are expecting me to be pranking with obsidian. And let's be honest, this is indeed a prank, because red nether brick, okay, you could pick that easily enough, but red nether wart blocks? Those are a pain to take down, because nothing works on the Mojang for some stupid reason, didn't actually assign a valid tool to the stupid things. So it's a very, very annoying process to do it. And what's really helping to fuel all of this is the fact that, actually, let me get rid of this stuff first real quick. What helps is the fact that this is all being made possible by something Cleo gave us. The Cleophean Digging Pheesh that we have, that's a Fortune 10 enchantment on it. Now, granted, it's not to be, you know, there's a whole ton of warnings on this, and unfortunately I'm not a laboratory mouse, so I hope I am safe from the potential cancer influence. But the simple fact of the matter is, oh, guess what it does work on, guys? It works on netherwort. So I have been over here at the netherwort farm, and I can basically, if I go back down here, you can see I've also cleared up my the axis down below. All I did down there was just get a ton of gravel stacked around everything down there, and I've still got some to remove to recover. But actually, I'll show you because it's quicker to get down here. I ripped up the crops. I don't really care about the farm being down here, but it's all still here. It's perfectly fine. No one actually pranked me. And I actually cleared out all this because I needed to get access to my super smelter again. Because like I said, the very last double chest of nether rack I have from working on the nether halls is going into this prank. Or at least a good chunk of it is. Some of it, I don't think I'm going to necessarily have tons of it left over. But the Cleophean Digging Pheesh down here, let me give you an idea. If I harvest this little strip here, this is enough to put together an entire stack of netherwort blocks. Just what you're seeing on the screen here. Keep in mind, there's the better part of this duplicated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times over. And this side is almost double of what that is. So generating netherwort down here has not been a problem with this digging pheesh. This is the sole thing making this prank possible. Otherwise, I would just be putting down lots of netherrack brick at this point. By which I mean every possible bit of nether material that I have on hand, short of the actual blocks of quartz themselves. Because let's face it, there's enough iron down there. You don't need any more white stuff over here. But red nether brick? Oh, hell yeah. This place is crying out for red nether brick. All this courtesy of Mr. Cleophean Digging Pheesh because, well, let's face it, it is incredibly dirt simple to now raid my entire netherwort farm. And just one small section of it will fill up an entire, give me an entire stack of netherwort blocks. So you can be dang sure I am going to be having some fun with this. So what I'm going to do is I've got more red nether brick than I have other stuff. And I have to be careful around here because I am close to the bunny boat race course. So mobs are definitely a concern in the area. But I think I should have enough freedom to work with. The other trick I'm going to have to do is trees. And I've been going back and forth on what I'm going to do with them. I can't really I can't really keep them is the problem. So these guys are unfortunately... I know the rule is don't be a dick, but they are going to have to come down in order for me to actually do this build. The other problem I also have is because the bricks I'm working with are very kind of limited in the palette that I can work with. It's not going to be an exact like-for-like replacement along here. Actually, I should save the... I'm kind of figuring out where I want to do actual replacements. So, like along here, I can do this kind of setup. And then that will let me get away with setting up... And for Heap, I am going to bring over some extra saplings. And we'll replant the trees a little further away, because I don't want to be a dick again. But even though I'm encouraged to be something of a dick, just not a complete dick. So, now, unfortunately, Heap has been having a little bit of a little bit of a rough go lately, so hopefully I'm not gonna aggravate things. I'm not out to completely piss people off with what I'm doing. I am out to kind of join in the concert with the not the contest or the concert. No, what's the word I'm thinking of? I want to, you know, keep the go and enjoy the concept that's going on here, which is, you know, we're kind of encouraged to play with each other's builds to a certain extent. And everyone's got full reign of my base at this point, because now I think I have everything I need to pull this off. I don't think I have to go back there for anything. And even if I do, I can just go underground, and I won't have to worry about potentially spoiling it, because I can just go to the portals right to my storage area. So there is that to consider. Yeah, it is kind of being a little bit of a dick. I mean, let's be honest, but this is all stuff that... actually, the real dick part of this is when I get to the red netherwort blocks. Those are not fun to take down, because nothing actually works with them. So there is a little bit of that, and as with any prank that I do, if Heap comes to me and says I don't like it, can we tear it down? I will be more than happy to help out with tearing it down. I am really not out to screw anyone over with this stuff. Now the trick is finding the blocks I'm looking for first. I don't have a lot of supplemental material with me, so this is going to kind of be interesting to see how this all plays out. My goal is basically I'm going to encase the entire outside of the castle here. So this whole thing, all the way around, is going to be transformed into another castle, essentially a fortress. But it's going to have, you know, all of the... It's going to have the same kind of look and feel to it, but it's going to be definitely themed more towards, you know, turning this into a viable nether fortress of sorts. Now, the trick is how I'm going to handle stuff like this, because I'm basically cladding the castle. I don't want to do block replacement. That's just plain evil. But I want to make, because I want to make it so it is teardownable, but still look good. And I'm going to have to go a little higher up and kind of compromise on some of the design elements here, because there is absolutely no way I am going to manage to transform some of the stuff without being able to see through bits, unless I really compromise like this. Right here is going to have to go like a so. And somehow I knew that was eventually going to happen, and I did not bring over blocks to really pillar up on anything, so this is gonna... It's gonna suck from a material wastage standpoint short term, but hey, it'll get me back up. Alright, let's do that. And what I'm gonna do is just do a little curve around like so for that. And then we do straight up block replacement here. And this is going to have half slab. Just going to look a little weird, but I think that will it'll hold up for the purposes of just kind of detailing stuff here. And then we build you up to there, and you up to there. So I'm going to have to figure out what to do about the crenellation on the roof edge here. At the same time, also... but I've been holding on to this skin for about 3 or 4 days now. Just because once I kind of had the idea for that little intro video that I did a couple of weeks ago at the quote-unquote prank that hit Zombieland Studios, which was not a prank. None of that is... All of that is perfectly intact. In fact, I was using the super smelter downstairs to prep up all of the last of... Well, a good chunk of my nether rack. In fact, I have some more that I can bring over to kind of start fleshing out this design a little bit. In fact, I can even do a little bit of embellishment here. And maybe I need to go back downstairs to find some fence. I know I've got some fences down there. Am I on a... Yeah, that's what's screwing me up. The speed is throwing him off my field of vision, and it's kind of playing with my mind right now. The other thing I also do want to do is I am going to be lighting this up as I go. I'm not going to leave this all completely gunked up and messy and everything. Actually, it'd probably just be easier if I do the fences direct. And I don't know if anyone's got a... Nothing, and probably nothing on the other side of that. I'm sorry if my voice is a little on the hoarse side right now. The, no, that just goes up and in. Okay. I had a presentation I had to do at work today, so I've already been talking for 2 hours. So my apologies for not saying much either. Oh, that's right. Your stuff is going to be down below, and I can't get down there from here. I know I saw a crafting bench around here somewhere. Because I picked up so much stuff and cleaned out my inventory, so I probably can't get to that. Yeah, I forgot to use the water drop. Oh well. Downstairs, and there we go. Fireworks, diamond, did not leave that in there for whatchamacallit. Coal and cookables, storage room, probably not gonna have anything useful. Heap, 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 come on, I need a crafting table, and I don't see one readily apparent down here. You're killing me, Smalls. No, I'm kidding. And that was a dead-end room. I really don't want to have to go out and rip up the landscape to pick up one piece of wood to make a crafting bench, but I don't think I'm going to have a choice in the matter. I only have 4 fences actually pre-made over here. So let's just go ahead and acknowledge the fact that my inventory is chock-a-block full. Drop off the sticks, because I don't really need those right now. I might eventually need them for torches, and find a tree out in the middle of nowhere that looks like it could be taken down without completely wrecking someone's day. A nice small spruce tree somewhere around here, right? You're nice and small. Do I have my axe on me still? Yeah. Yeah. Please, 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 please. Please and thanks. Thank you. Okay, hopefully that will despawn a little bit off camera so that I can come back over and pick up the saplings. Let's eat a little bit, please. So at this point, I think you guys know what's probably going to be coming. Hopefully, this computer is going to hold up enough for me to switch over to the time-lapse of the build. So before anyone gets the wrong idea, no, I am not out to turn this into a creep fest. I do have more overlays up. I am going through and making sure that anything I do for torch replacement is going to be like for like and or better. Nothing is going to be able to spawn on top of this stuff. So don't worry, I'm not out to be a complete deck. Just like a 90% of the deck. So what I've got here so far is the first tower. And you can see it's kind of complete over to here. I do have to keep an eye out because obviously that is spawnable and I have the potential of missing some fine details like that. So if I come over here, which doesn't really have all that great of a view, or I can potentially... Okay, it's a little better. I got my stairs up in the way right now, so maybe I'll tear those down real quick here as soon as I get through my completely and utterly trashed system here. My inventory is completely screwed up right now because I have so much stuff where I don't normally have it now. That gets rid of that, and yeah, I think that looks pretty okay for a like replacement here. Let's do one more change as soon as I get this to actually swap those blocks over. Let's do just 2 to give it a little bit of a transition effect from there and there. Yes, that sells it for me right there. That is a beautiful replacement for the tower, clad on the outside. Maybe a little bit more crenellation up top. That is going to be tricky. Great thing is there are so many ways into this base once you build up a wall from the outside. You can get up to the top nice and fast. I really wish Mojang would fix this whole stupid lack of appropriate stairs and slabs in the game, because you give us a beautiful texture like this stuff that you can play around with, and then you don't give us the ability to actually use it like we do the stone bricks. That's kind of really a turnoff for me. Okay, that should be a bit better. Let's see if... Of course, I missed the tree completely. Let me turn off F1. Yeah, I know it sucks because it's raining, but that doesn't look too bad. I think that will hold up. Okay, so we got the windows in there. We've got that. Good. Now, the next challenging part are going to be these walls. I've actually still got to work on the inside of this, too. This is going to be a challenging part in here, trying to do all this without tearing anything up. And then I've got to finish up the top side of that one, too. Well, top side of both of these, really. Let's go ahead and get that going. And I'm going to go back on time-lapse. Another little quick timeout to give you guys with a little bit of a status update over here. As you can see, I kind of gave up on working on that tower because I wanted to work on getting this part of it done, the blood bowl at this point. So that has been taken care of. The center tower has been dealt with. I may take the ladders down and just kind of finish that up just so it ties in, because right now obviously it doesn't. I need to go downstairs before night hits because I need a ton more of the blocks for the pool of that stuff here. Obviously, those are pretty integral. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it works out when I use this for prank material. The red netherwort blocks, it just works really well, just as this sort of texture, and it fits the whole theme behind this particular holiday, so I can't complain about that. And it's a resource I've got plenty of, and it's also the most painful one to pick up, unfortunately, but at the same time you can pick it up without needing a tool either. So let's be honest, I mean, as far as pranking materials go, this is certainly far better than if I dumped lava on everything, right? I mean, I could do that. I could just dump tons of TNT everywhere. I could do a lot of stuff that would be really annoying to clean up, especially obsidian. And I kind of hinted to that in the channel. I've been dropping little hints here and there about what I was planning to do or just how far I was willing to go. And obviously you saw in the video a couple of weeks, like about a week or two ago, the What News episode that ended with, well, started and ended with the, oh, there's been an explosion at Zombieland Studios, and the stone face appearing in dark red coming out of the darkness there. That's part of this whole prank, obviously, and you know, just this whole skin stuff. I mean, I started off with the red eyes and freaked everyone out in the server, and well, now I've got the evil feral skin on at this point, complete with a red shirt, no less. And yeah, apparently I forgot one of my hands. I guess that's my good hand. I still have a little bit of good in me, so maybe there's something that I can do to redeem myself. Either way, a lot of stuff to kind of have to go over, and now I've got the added distraction of rain and needing to get a lot of lighting down. And a thunderstorm too, which makes things even better, because that probably means all sorts of stuff is spawning out there, and I'll probably luck out and manage to get like a electrified creeper at this point. Either way, yeah, kind of played around with that. So the theme was always going to be to do this, because I've got tons and tons of this block. But then I dropped hints in, one of the hints in the chat was hopefully steering people towards obsidian. Because I kind of hinted that this is a block that I had a ton of, and it would be an incredible pain to clean up. And, well, this stuff is not exactly easy to clean up, but it's certainly better than casing everything in obsidian. I mean, that's just downright evil. I mean, I am kind of downright evil right now. No, but no, I still have that hand, that good little hand that's keeping me a polite feral. And, yeah, having lots of fun with this so far. I'm really liking how this is turning out. The castle adapts itself very well to being turned into this dark, evil, brooding setup here, and I can't wait to kind of be able to tear down the rest of the scaffolding and look at this from afar, especially once I can get into replay. But this is working out pretty good, because now I'm getting this top set out. I'll be able to work on this side, and that will dictate how the rest of this is going to go together. And I think it's going to be close on if I have enough blocks. I may have to go into the Nether and do just a little bit of burny and smelt up some more lava, or some more Nether Rack. I also need to come over and actually spread out some lava too, possibly. I'm going to have to see if I can find a spot where it kind of makes sense to have it out there. But this is looking pretty good, but it just seems every time I want to record something, it starts raining. So I'm going to go ahead and get back to work here, and oh, and by the way, so far I haven't done anything down here. I'm kind of holding off on doing anything in this space, aside from lighting it up a little bit better, until I have all of the rest of the outside build done, because it's going to depend on just what I've got left over for blocks at this point. I mean, at this point, that is now an empty. That is now an empty. I've got plenty of stuff still there. Let's go ahead and transfer some of this stuff around, just to condense it a little bit more. Yeah, because at this point I've got the blood in place across the whole top there, so I don't need to worry about any of those blocks, but I need to have some more of those possibly. So this is now empty. This is going to be empty because I'm going to need a ton more of everything across the board. So chances are I'm going to be taking a swing by my shop in the shopping district very soon, because I have about a little over a double chest of nether brick over there that I can use up on this particular build. Oh, I actually do like that. This is the one feature in 1.12 I do like. That now I can back out of a crafting window and I don't drop everything. Ooh, how do I have no light there. That's not good. That's spawnable. Okay, so I've got some bricks left. I've got some additional bricks left. We'll just burn all those right now. Okay, we're doing okay. We're about halfway through our supplies, and I should have enough to at least finish off the rest of what I'm doing upstairs here. In fact, actually, I do need to do one thing over here. I'm already forgetting where everything is. And that is, this needs to get picked up. Because I am going to just use the stairs over there, or the ladder over there, to get up to this and back down from it. So there's no real point to having a manual stair here, right? Right. So now I can finish that off, and the roof is done. Now, before you worry about me blocking off stuff down here, yeah, I do need to go down and into that area and get out and do some lighting down there too. Because obviously I don't want to turn this into a full-on mob spawner. I will respect the side torching that is currently in place down here. But this is why I carry around more overlays for when I'm doing this sort of thing. Because this is very handy to know that I am completely not screwing up poor Heap here. Heap's having enough fun. Oh, Heap's even got a... Wait a minute. This is a taiga biome. You can't be a natural spawn. I'm hoping you're a tamed bird. It looks like it. I have not been hearing this parrot at all while I've been building, which is kind of weird. I mean, usually they're a lot more chattier than that, especially when I was doing the CCG... Jeez, I can never get that name right on the first shot. The CCG build challenge. Oh, the parrots I had down in the build there. Even that was better than what I was seeing. So anyways, let me get back to building. We are doing pretty darn good here. We'll pick up the blocks that I can recover from over here, and I will be back when I have some, or not necessarily back. I'll go back to the time lapse and pick you guys up when I've got something new to report. Alright guys, we are back. This is about, maybe about an hour later. I'm about, actually, 3.5 hours into the build here. And, yeah, this is the upper half of the project is now completely done. Everything up here is adequately lit, so nothing is going to be spawning up here at least. It does kind of ruin the look and feel of it a little bit, but, you know, I think that's a little more important to actually just kind of have everything sort of, at least, you know, looking a little better. The level of the blood between here and there is not exactly even either. And maybe I might come back and kind of do a little bit of, take away some of these bricks and let it kind of look like it's overflowing from the walls into here. The interiors of the tower are also not modified. It's just way too tight in there, so the worst I might do to kind of prank that would be to come back and put some coal in place behind there to black it out. But the reason why I am coming up here to show you all of this is it's about time to seal up that part of the entrance. And something I do want to, if I can go down here, thank you very much, the game. I do want to also point out that I am not going to wreck any of the stuff that's in boxes here. I am going to more than happily leave a chest with the ladders in it, because, you know, I'm not here to steal stuff, so the ladders that are there for going back, but for the time being, boop-a-boop. So that completes the upper half of the build. Now, I still have a lot of work to do on the outside. I'm going to go ahead and, before night really hits, take a quick run out here just to kind of show you what these walls look like from the outside right now, except I did not finish off that side of the tower. That's because this is a little easier to reach from the outside, actually, because I'm going to be building up the outside of the walls and down along the other side of those bits as well. So it's going to look something like the front here. And I know this is not the nicest looking pattern out here, but the way that it's working for tiling the wall sections, it actually works out pretty good. Except for the end. This is going to go through quite a bit of red stone here, and it's not very easy to kind of figure out where you're placing stuff when you've got trees in the way. Urgh. So yeah, that's going to take a little bit of work, and unfortunately I am going to have to clear some space here to bring everything up. And again, like I said, don't worry, I am going to be bringing back some saplings, and I'm going to leave those in the chest as well, so that way I'm not completely wrecking in any possible way the wall itself, or the build itself here. So we are up at that point. I can go in here. Did I remember to bring half slabs? Of course not. So now I'm going to have to go back down and pick those up. Just so I don't have to worry about a creeper next time I come up here. Let's do that real quick. Little nervous. I've done some more lighting up around. And actually, the other thing I have to do... I saw that the horse over here escaped. This is the horse that belongs in... Really? You're gonna... No. Horse! I'm here to prank Heaps. I'm not here to prank you. Get back in there. I mean, in all honesty, the horse seemed to be pretty happy up here anyways, so we'll just... Okay, fine, that's it. Horse, you are now being pranked as well. You're going to be an integral part of the prank. You're going to be secured from the prank. I need to compare across to here. I think I just went down regardless. So yeah, I think this is just a case of building the rest of this straight down. The other half straight up. And when spiders down there, which is not going to make this much easier. Alright. So yeah, basically we are just kind of continuing that look and feel, and I'm going to kind of mirror the shape I'm using up above there for this section too. So it's going to be a stair there, and half slab, and some company. And you get an arrow, and you get an arrow. Well, okay. The ice will take the arrow for you. Ah! Oh, that's right. That's the dragon head. Good job, Farrell. That dragon head will not bother anyone else ever again. Come on. There we go. Okay, we got that. And I think it's kind of the same thing I've been doing along this side. I am definitely going to have to actually take a little bit of a trip here now, because there is no way that I now have enough to finish off the nether brick side of this. So I definitely need to pick up some more of that. And we're going to unload as much as I can. I've got all of these shulker chests that I've managed to empty out so far. So feeling pretty good about that. And I've had to actually go mining to pick up more I had to go mine to actually make more torches, because I've been having to put down a lot more than I've been tearing up to actually be able to light everything. So anyways, let's take a quick little flight over here. This is a great part about all this, because okay, so that was... Someone must have changed that with the 1.2. I was wondering what that was when I went by. It's like, wait a minute, I don't have anything playing for ads in the background on the system, and it's like, oh, that's the new note block sounds. Okay. I haven't played around with that much, and, you know, it might be interesting to kind of play around with it, see what I could do. But I mean, guitar, I more personally would have liked to have seen some more synthetic sounds. I mean, let's come on, Mojang, can you give us like a way to do some chip tunes in Minecraft? That would actually be pretty amusing to do. So I'm here at my shop. As you can see, I've already burned away one of the double chests that's over here of nether wart. So I do have full stocks in here, but when I designed the shop, as you can see, I left myself plenty of... This happened every time I've come over here. I've managed to knock out yet another block when I come back here. So we're going to... Yeah, I can't really do anything with that, can I? Lovely. And now I've just done that. Oh, I am having a fantastic day. Oh, I am really having a fantastic day. Come on, Minecraft. Just be nice to me here. Just let me put everything back the way it was. Stop trying to think that I'm trying to do more than I really want to do. So as you can see, I am loaded over here with plenty of spares. So I'm not exactly worried about not having enough nether bricks to finish this off just yet. And like I said earlier, at this point I can even go back over to Zombieland Studios and throw some more in the magma smelter over there, especially the super smelter. Because there's really not that much left in terms of things that I need to I guess I didn't change that behavior with this new version, huh? There's not much that I actually have left to build over there. I'm down to the outside wall, so a lot of the detail and texture that's gone in is there. So I'm going to be down to kind of you know, sort of the last dregs of what I need to worry about. Which is good, because I really kind of need to finish this up so I can wander off and get some sleep done. Or more accurately, I need to actually edit this video first. And get this out to you guys, because this is long overdue of a video. Come on, Mojang. I don't know why we just can't have a nice shift-click functionality. Why we've got to do this awkward thing with you have to pick up the thing and then control shift click on the... Who designed the key stuff for this? I mean, it's just kind of... what were you on when you decided that? I think what I am going to do, though, is actually gather up everything, because I'm not really anticipating needing to stock the shop again at this point. I mean, let's face it, the server reboot's coming up. It's not really going to... Certainly not going to require anything along those lines. We'll just stock that in there. Do I have enough to... I've got 3 and I've got 5 that I have to bring back. So, no, we'll just chuck that in there and straight down the line. Okay, almost straight down the line. So there's that all taken care of. I can go ahead and seal this back up. Just like new. So, yep, don't have to worry about that. Yeah, at this point, the shop is probably about, honestly, it's about ready to go completely free anyways, just for the purposes of giving everyone a way to kind of finish up any big builds they've got. Let's see if I can actually make it over to Heaps on that rocket shot alone. Yep, I don't think so. That's okay. I can kind of give you guys a little bit of a view from the air here of what it looks like at this point. So yeah, oh, that's looking beautiful. Let me get a kind of no, give me, there we go. A little bit of the fly-through shot. Oh, yes. Perfect. And in for a safe landing. Sweet. Okay. Yeah, we got that done. That is looking pretty phenomenal, actually. I am really happy with how all of this is turning out. Let's turn this back on before I run afoul of another mob. Yep, so I need to finish that bit up. Did I do that right? I kind of didn't do that on the other side, and I'm thinking I might want to kind of go back up and correct that now that I've done it in that specific way. I feel a little dangerous leaving this stuff out here too. That's why I'm actually going to go in here and set all this stuff down first, because I really don't want to lose any of this to a creeper blast. That would kind of ruin the day not having that dealt with. And anything I do have left over anyways is just going to come back, by the way, just in case. Get rid of you. Your oddball stuff. Still gotta figure out if I'm gonna do the lava or not at this point. I'm gonna need that on hand. Actually, no, let's craft this stuff up first. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this stuff prepared, go back to the time lapse, and hopefully this is gonna be the last interruption. I should be able to hopefully finish off the rest of this with what I've got left. And oh, so much Nether Rack out of my inventory, finally. So glad to see The Last of Us go out, and hopefully it won't come back. Heap, I hope you really do enjoy this this particular gift that I'm giving you. Hope that you do find use for it. That's why I wanted to actually give this a little early on as far as Secret Satan goes. Because, you know, if it could be repurposed, I have no problems with that. You know, maybe this becomes the gift that keeps on giving, and giving, and giving, and giving, and giving to people whether they like it or not. I don't know. We'll find out. Alright guys, I have been recording for about 5 hours, and I think I'm at a point where I can safely say this prank is finally in its winding down state. Primarily because I am now completely and utterly out of Nether Rack. I have just 7 nether brick left. I've got 23 nether brick stairs. I've got a little bit of nether brick fence left over, and I've got some slabs left, and that's pretty much it. I've still got about a full shulker chest of the red nether brick, this stuff here, the red nether brick. And I don't really have much of too many places I can use that. I'm going to be having to go back through the build and try to be swapping out stuff for things. So I have had one of the mods by just to be sure that I am not completely and utterly ruining, you know, going beyond rule number 1, though it is possibly borderline for it. I mean, this is not going to be a simple cleanup with the that stuff, but it is all done. The building itself has been, come on, down into my inventory here. The building itself is safe now. I mean, everything in here has been lit up to the point that it needs to be, that nothing is going to spawn here, nothing is going to spawn upstairs. The stuff that you're seeing wandering around on Journey Map right now is all down at lower levels, and not down here. I did have to come through and throw down a whole bunch of torches, so there's actually been a whole additional stack of torches that have gone into protecting the build. Anything I've had to take out has gone into here, so that way there is recovery there. And I'm going to swing by the skeleton farm and bring over some additional bone meal, because obviously I have definitely knocked out quite a bit of the material in here. You know, a lot of the plants and everything. The flowers have all been replanted as I've been going. But yeah, there's definitely some annoyances here that are going to have to be dealt with. I think it looks pretty good, to be honest with you. I mean, as far as builds go with this sort of material, this doesn't look that bad. The outside is kind of a little more on the questionable side. I mean, it really doesn't kind of work there, but when you do pop up to the top of the build here, I think this actually looks pretty darn good, to be honest with you. So what I'm probably going to do at this point, the interior is done. Obviously, I have some signage that I need to actually go make, and fortunately I can do that because I happen to have the I do have some wood on me from having to chop down a few trees to make some room. I even saved 2 lava buckets. This is all that's left of my red netherwort block as well, so I'm basically down to that and kind of the little leftovers here, and that's it. All these shulker boxes in my inventory, they're all empty. So the shop in spawn is definitely going to be out of business soon. I believe I've got maybe 9-10 stacks of Nether Rack at home to smelt up, and then that'll be it. And I'll be down to just supplying netherwort blocks at that point. So we've got this little setup here. So this is a running of the Horde monument here, and I believe there's a lovely... No, it's on... Okay, yep, he's down there. Good. So yeah, we're just going to use up the last of the nether bricks in replacing the monument here, making it a little bit bigger, making it stand out a little more, I think. And that will be it for this particular prank. I still love how this came out. This is why I wanted to come out here and do this piece last. This looks pretty... Ooh, I'm realizing I'm missing some blocks over there, so I'm going to have to go back and... I think I've got some nether rack slabs. They need to go in the window slit there because, well, it's not going to light any. It's not going to spawn anything in there right now because there's the there is the torch in the window. But it does kind of throw off the look and feel of everything because I managed to remember to put the slabs in it everywhere else. So yes, a very red build. Like I said, I had a mod come by, take a look at, and I've had another person who's actually not in the Secret Santa actually swing by. Spring Dragon came by and. Took a look just to kind of... It's nice to get a little bit of opinion as you're putting stuff in with this sort of thing, because you want to make sure you're not going overboard. And again, unfortunately, Heap has been a little bit under the weather lately, so I feel a little guilty in doing this. Unfortunately, the name draw was like right before they got sick, so I don't want to... I feel like I'm kind of picking on them a little bit, and... I do kind of feel a little bit bad for that, but at the same time, it is unfortunately Secret Satan, and, well, this is my gift. It is the bulk of what you see in the build out here, in all honesty, is all of the nether rack, or a good chunk of it. Minus whatever was bought over at the store over there, this is all of the nether rack that I dug out while building the 300 left and right tunnels on the red path. So this has been sitting around in my storage system for ages, waiting for a good opportunity to use. and just a lot of obviously there's been a lot of smelting on this side because I've had to, I've got to actually put it into usable form. And then of course I had needed to have the nether wart farm to be able to do too much more with it. I'm actually going to light this build up too, just to make it stick out that, hey, something has been done over here as well. And because it's the running of the Horde monument, so at least for this person, so I'm not gonna let this sit out here and not attract attention after I've so dutifully clad the structure underneath in this new little setup. And again, I am going to be offering, if you want help removing it. I mean, God knows removing that the Nether Rack or the Nether Wart Lake up there is going to suck a little bit, to be honest with you. I have no problems with helping out with, getting all that cleaned up. It's something I put in place. I mean, at the same time, they could also, Heap could just simply ask the mods to roll it back, and I'm going to actually post in the channel just to let them know that there is, if rollback needs to be done, it can be rolled back to past this certain point, and that will get around the shenanigans that I have conducted here. Because it is a really nice base. I mean, I really do like the curved walls. Actually, were a really nice touch on this. It's not, I mean, medieval walls are, yep, I can do that, but that's the first time I've actually seen a deliberately curved wall, and done it in a pretty nice pattern too. So it was actually one of the things that kind of stuck out to me a couple days ago. I was actually doing, before the name draw, I did a little bit of a fly-through of the Bunny Boat Race course, because unfortunately I missed out on that and wasn't able to participate. But, I kind of flew by, and it's like, oh, well, this is kind of neat. Haven't even been out this way in a while, and I was kind of, in the back of my mind was stuff like, whoever pranks Heap is probably going to be able to have fun with the base, and I wasn't expecting to be that person. But I am. So Heap, this is your secret Satan here. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching all of this get put together. This is, at this point, we're coming up on, I've been recording for almost 5.5 hours at this point, so if you kind of, I'm sure as far as the time lapses go, I probably managed to shrink it down to fit within a song or two. But yeah, this is taking a little while, but it's definitely been worth it. And Heap, you now have all of entire nether tunnels worth of processed netherrack, shall we say, at this point. Hopefully you don't mind the gift. And yeah, I will catch you guys in the next episode. Take care.